Hey, babe. Today is the day I finally say everything I've been holding inside for what feels like forever. For so long, I carried this secret like a stone in my chest. Heavy, sharp, and impossible to ignore. Every time I saw your name, every time I heard your voice in my memory, I felt that weight again pressing against my heart. It was the truth I had been running from. The truth that burned quietly inside me while I pretended I could move on with my life. But the truth doesn't disappear just because we hide it. It waits. It grows stronger in the silence. And tonight, I can't run anymore. I can't pretend anymore. You deserve to know what really happened. You deserve to know why I made the choice I did, what it cost me, and why even after all this time, I still think about it every single day. You deserve the whole truth. There was a moment, one single moment, when everything between us cracked. I can still see it so clearly, like a scene frozen in time. The air between us changed, and something inside me shifted in a way I didn't fully understand back then. I made a choice in that moment, a choice that shattered both of us. And even now, years later, that moment follows me like a shadow I can't escape. It wasn't impulsive, even though it looked like it was. It wasn't careless, even though it caused more pain than I could ever undo. The truth is, I struggled with that decision long before it actually happened. Day and night, I went back and forth inside my head, convincing myself I was doing the right thing, telling myself there was a reason for it, telling myself it would somehow make things easier for both of us. But deep down, in a quiet place inside my heart, I knew it wasn't right. And yet, I did it anyway. That moment has stayed with me ever since. It whispers to me in the quiet hours of the night when the world slows down and there's nowhere left to hide from my own thoughts. It's the regret that never fully disappears. No matter how much time passes, no matter how far life moves forward, it remains there like a scar on my soul. And the thing I remember most clearly isn't the words we said or the silence that followed. It's the look in your eyes. The moment you realized what I had done. That look. I'll never forget it for as long as I live. Because in that moment, I saw the pain I caused you. I saw the trust break. I saw the love we had built slowly collapse in front of us. And even though I tried to act strong, even though I tried to justify my choice, something inside me broke right there too. I know what I took from us. I know what I destroyed. And I know that I have to carry the responsibility for every piece of it. For a long time, I lied to myself about why I did what I did. I told myself I was protecting you. I convinced myself that keeping the truth from you was somehow an act of kindness. I believed that if I stayed quiet, if I buried the reality of what had happened, maybe the pain wouldn't be as deep. But silence doesn't protect love. Silence slowly kills it. What I didn't understand back then is that the truth doesn't weaken love. Lies do. Secrets do. Avoiding reality does. I thought that if I never spoke the words out loud, maybe they would lose their power. Maybe the guilt would fade. But it didn't. Instead, the silence grew into distance. The distance turned into confusion. And the confusion turned into the pain that ultimately separated us. I know now that I should have told you everything from the beginning. I should have trusted you. I should have trusted that you were strong enough to handle the truth, that you deserved honesty, even if that honesty hurt. But instead, I let fear control me. I was terrified of losing you completely, and in trying to avoid losing you, I ended up losing you anyway. The truth about why I left is something I've struggled to admit, even to myself. But you deserve to hear it. I made the choice to be with her. And I wish I could tell you it was because of something meaningful. I wish I could say it was because she was better for me, or because our connection was stronger. But the truth is, None of that was real. She wasn't better than you. Not in any way that actually mattered. She wasn't kinder. She wasn't deeper. She wasn't more loving. The only thing she had was a way of getting inside my head. She knew exactly how to play with my emotions. At the time, I didn't understand what was happening. I thought she understood me in ways that you didn't. I thought she saw parts of me that you couldn't see. But looking back now, I realized something painful. I mistook manipulation for understanding. I mistook chaos for connection. She knew how to make me feel important, needed, irreplaceable. She knew how to feed my insecurities and make me believe that she was the only one who truly understood me. And I was too blind to see what was really happening. She was controlling me. Every insecurity I had, every doubt I carried, every emotional wound I had buried inside myself. She knew exactly how to press those buttons. And I let her. That's the part that haunts me the most. No one forced me to leave you. I made that decision myself. And the irony is that while I was chasing what I thought was excitement, I was walking away from the most genuine love I had ever known. Because you were everything she wasn't. You were calm where she was chaos. You were patient where she was manipulative. You loved without conditions, without games, without hidden agendas. Your love was honest. And the truth is, that kind of love scared me. You loved me in a way that required me to grow. It required me to face my flaws, to be accountable for my mistakes, to become a better version of myself. And at that time in my life, I wasn't ready for that kind of honesty. I didn't know how to accept something so pure. So instead, I ran toward something that felt familiar. The drama, the unpredictability, the emotional highs and lows. At the time, it felt intense. It felt exciting. It felt alive. But now I understand what it really was. It was poison. Being with her didn't just cost me you. It cost me myself. Little by little, I started losing the person I used to be. I became someone I didn't recognize anymore. Someone who was constantly anxious, constantly trying to prove his worth, constantly trying to earn affection that was never truly there. Nothing I did ever felt like enough. And yet I kept trying harder, giving more, sacrificing more, until one day I realized I had lost myself completely. I thought I had control of my life, but I was the one being controlled. And the saddest realization of all came much later, when it was already too late. It took losing you for me to understand what real love actually looked like. You never tried to manipulate me into staying. You never made me question my worth. You never made me feel like I had to prove myself just to deserve your affection. You simply loved me, and I couldn't see that because I didn't know how to love myself. The moment I finally understood, everything wasn't dramatic. It wasn't some huge event that suddenly changed my life. It was quiet. It happened in small, painful realizations. The emptiness I felt after she would leave. The cold silence that filled the room. The growing feeling that something in my life was deeply wrong. And then one night, I remember sitting alone in a dark room, staring at the ceiling, realizing that nothing around me felt real anymore. The conversations felt empty. The emotions felt forced. Even my own reflection in the mirror looked like a stranger. And suddenly, your face came into my mind, clearer than anything else. And in that moment, I understood what I had truly lost. You were the real thing. The only real thing. You were love in its purest form. Quiet, deep, steady. You were the person who stood beside me even when I had nothing to give. You stayed when I was difficult, when I was lost, when I didn't even know how to understand myself. And I traded all of that for someone who only cared about controlling me. Regret is a strange thing. At first, it's loud and painful. It burns every time you think about it. But over time, it changes. It becomes quieter, but deeper. It settles inside your bones like a permanent echo that never fully fades. That's where I am now. I wake up with it. I fall asleep with it. Sometimes I dream about you. In those dreams, we're laughing again. You're smiling at me the way you used to. And for a few brief moments, everything feels real again. But then I wake up, and reality comes back. I wish I could tell you how many times I've replayed that night in my head, imagining how everything could have been different if I had just made a different choice. But life doesn't give us rewinds. It only gives us consequences and responsibility. I've had to face a truth that took me years to accept. The pain you carry today exists because of my choices, not because of who you are, not because of anything you did, but because of what I chose. And for that, I am truly sorry. There isn't an apology big enough to erase the nights you cried. There isn't an explanation that can undo the damage I caused. But you still deserve to hear the words. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the lies. I'm sorry for the betrayal. I'm sorry for not valuing the love you gave me the way it deserved to be valued. And I'm sorry that it took losing you for me to finally understand the meaning of love. Love isn't meant to make you doubt yourself. It isn't meant to drain you or confuse you. Real love is steady. It's honest. It's safe. It's the kind of love you gave me. You were my light. And I didn't realize how dark my world would become without you until you were gone. I don't expect forgiveness. I don't expect you to ever look at me the same way again. But what I do hope, more than anything, is that you find peace. I hope you find someone who sees your heart the way I should have seen it. Someone who never makes you question your worth. Someone who protects your love instead of breaking it. Because you deserve a love that feels like home. And even though I lost that chance forever, I will always be grateful that for a moment in my life, I had it with you. And that is something I will carry with me for the rest of my life.